This hearing is being held as required by the provisions of Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth, an act relative to the protection of the wetlands is most recently amended. Notice the time and place of this hearing was published in the Fairhaven Neighborhood News on June 6, 2024. It was also posted in the town clerk's office. Persons wishing to be heard will be called in the following order. This meeting is being audio and video recorded. First order of business, minutes for approval. February 15th, 2024. Review of matters presented. Votes may be taken. I looked at them. I didn't have an issue. There was a lot going on there, but I think it was captured pretty good.
I perused it as well, so.
All right.
Motion to accept.
Yeah.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Okay, meeting mail, none. Old business, none. New business. Extension of order of conditions, PJ Keating Company, 72 South Main Street, SE file number 0010558. A request for an extension to an existing order of conditions was filed for SE file number 0010558. PJ Keating Company for property located at 72 South Main Street, map 15, lots 15 through 18. The applicant proposes to grade the eastern slopes of the existing silt piles located at the rear of PJ Keating Quarry property. Plan name is Site Plan of Land at 72 South Main Street in Acushnet, Mass. And plan to show areas of silt deposition into wetlands at 72 South Main Street in Acushnet, Mass. Dated December 21st, 2020 and April 23rd, 2021. Review of matters presented. Votes may be taken.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
before you proceed, I'd like to recuse from any of the deliberations involving this, and I will be attending as the general public.
Understood.
Myself as well, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to recuse myself.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hill, floor is yours.
PJ Keating is in front of the Conservation Commission requesting an extension of the order of conditions. The request comes based on the April 27th meeting, followed up with a May 6th letter to Chairman Rocha at the time, where we were told that we needed an earth removal permit to go ahead and begin the work referenced in the order of conditions, which includes removal of silt in the buffer area of the wetlands, and then additional plantings for that area. The Conservation Commission met with me on site and we walked the property. So at this point, PJ Keating submitted an earth removal permit application in almost 2 years ago, in September 23, actually November 2023. So we're still ongoing and working with the town on that application. The requirement for the earth removal permit was set forth at the last meeting by Mr. Hannon. So at this point, we don't have the earth removal permit, so we are unable to go in and do the work. Cautiously optimistic that we'll be receiving an earth removal permit, and then we'll be able to go ahead and begin that work. Obviously, the work is sensitive to the time of year and the type of material. So we don't want to begin the work in that area when we're out of the growing season. And then we would obviously follow back up with the plantings. So there's a few things that would go on once we receive the earth removal permit. I guess we could say that we would come in front of the board within 30 days with a plan, which would probably be very close to what we presented previously and what was originally approved in the order of conditions when we had the soil scientists and wetlands people out there on the relative to the grading and the plantings.
Right.
I think that's it, unless there's any questions.
Any questions, comments? Well, we conducted a site visit on Saturday. The slopes were pretty well stabilized from the last time we were out there. There's been no new runoff into the wetlands. It's the siltation up, and it's been graded so that it's up higher than the bottom of the slope. So there's really nothing else that can really get in there. Those were my observations. Yeah.
The only thing I can say is that when we did walk it did look kind of nice. There was a couple bad spots in the silk fence, which weren't real bad, nothing could go over, but they were close. And I know that you said that you would take care of that, and I just hope that gets followed through.
We will, and we can provide, pictures of those remediations and an update, since we did hydro seed that area with a new material, we can provide the additional growth in that area. So maybe what I say is, in the next 30 days, I provide a correspondence to the chair with the show of the growth and and any corrections to the silt fence as pointed out. And then we will continue with a provision in the order of conditions about monitoring that area, on a weekly basis and after any significant storm event. So we'll remain committed to any cleanup necessary to prevent any migration of the silt fines into the buffer area.
Excellent.
And then, like I said before, just once a earth removal permit is granted, we'll come back to, we'll provide that notice, or you'll know that notice, and then we could get on the agenda for, within 30 days to come back and talk about the actual plan based on timing and the growth season.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Any comments from the public?
Yeah. Christian D'Souza, 46 Lorkie Avenue. I'm under the impression that if the board grants them somewhat of an extension and approves their plan, regardless of the permit, they can start that work anytime. I think that's something that should be investigated by the board, because I think it's been put off long enough, and the residents in that area, still get hammered by the dust from from that material.
Well, the slopes that are gonna get moved,
Yeah,
they're stabilized. There's trees growing in them. Like,
there is vegetation.
100%.
Very well then.
I'd say they're 90% vegetated.
Mm.
Yeah, there was only like one area that they sprayed recently.
And they went with a different mix because the last one didn't work and hold. So instead of trying to redo the same thing, they went with a totally different hydro seed, which is supposed to be better. And he was saying, he can give us pictures in 30 days to make sure the stayed stabilized. But with a hydro seed was the only spot that was a little bit uncovered. The rest of it I thought was well vegetated.
Yeah, there was literally trees growing out of the slopes, And the thing is, I could talk to the chairman of the soil board and see if that's possible, that they can do the work immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
think it.
I wouldn't suspect. I would be under the impression that they might be able to start the.
But I was under the
out.
impression that they're not supposed to move any material without having that permit.
They can't pull it out.
Well, I'm sure town council would have a better idea as well.
Right.
If need be.
It can be
That's fine.
explored, but
but
talking,
something maybe that could be,
talking with Mr. Hill on the site, he's on board. He knows what those plans say, and he has a plan. I guess I feel very confident talking to him that.
Yeah, that's all I have. I don't know how long it could be put off, but if.
Yeah. Well, the good
if there's an avenue to get started on, then I think we should.
Right.
Should be.
I don't know if now would be the good time.
No, I'm not.
Right. So
not making any,
let me just say this, because it is stabilized so well, and they're not going to be able to restabilize it during the summer months. That I think it's going to create more of an issue with pollutants. Oh no, I wouldn't say pollutants, but with dust in the air.
And then the wetlands, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have
erosion,
to
right?
Exactly, and they're gonna have to re-slope it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a 2-to-1 slope or a 2.5 to 1 slope or whatever it was.
The other thing that was discussed too, that is even if they get their permit to move it, if they're not in the planting season, they're not going to do it. So if they get it too late in the season where they can't put any more vegetation back up, they're going to hold off till spring. That was my impression, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Correct.
We could start, if we get an earth removal permit. So just to back to Mr. D'Souza's question, So during the commission's April 27th of 2022 meeting, Mr. Hannon reversed his position and announced that the enforcement is not appropriate because PJ Keating does not have a earth removal permit. So prior to beginning the work and grading work, we need to obtain an earth removal permit. So that was, and you can look at that, it's in the record. So that was the reason we stopped. But back to that end, we will, we would start, if we got an earth removal permit, let's just say July 1st, and we could mobilize and be ready to do things in August, we would do a section this fall where we go in and do the work, and then prior to, we'd want to be done, and then start stabilizing and hydroseeding sometime no later than, say, September 15th, and let that section vegetate, stabilize, and then tackle the remainder in the following year. So, really everything predicates on an earth removal permit.
And an earth removal permit, that means you can't remove it from site, but you can still move it on site, correct? Or do I have that wrong?
No, because the material is going to go down in the hole, and in order to do that, I need to do some work in the hole. I can't do any work in the hole
Yes,
until I receive an earth removal permit. I can't take it off site without an earth removal permit, and I can't move it on site without an earth removal permit. So,
Right.
I mean, I would again, I think, you referring back to your council and letting them have an opinion on that was fine.
Just to try to, speed the process is, it's been how long already?
Yeah, well, it's not being
Coming up on
dust.
3
years,
It'll
yeah.
be 3 years now, right?
Right,
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
No, I want to make a motion to approve the extension for 3 years on their permit.
Okay, there's a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're all set, Mr. Hill, it's
Thank you.
extended.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
too.
Okay, next order of business. Next order of business. Public hearing, RDA. Paul J. DeCosta, Blacksmith Drive, map 5, lot 7F. A request for determination was filed by Paul J. DeCosta for property located at Blacksmith Drive, map 5, lot 7F. The applicant proposes to construct a single-family house, garage, and septic system located outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. Some site grading and landscaping located within the buffer zone of the wetlands. The applicant is represented by Richard Sharon of Sharon Associates Incorporated. Plan name is Plan of Site, Proposed House and Subsurface Sewage Disposal, dated May 13th, 2024. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken. I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Good evening,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman,
yours.
members of the commission. As we discussed at the site meeting on Saturday, the proposed house, we were standing over in here, I guess, originally. We saw the stake set up for the garage, and the house was staked, and also this attached garage at the rear. There's a lot of runoff here, a lot of building, and as I mentioned to you, the approval by these, when the subdivision was done by the planning board, they required that there be recharge units on all of the roof runoff. So we got a number of roof recharge units on the garage, another set of them here around the house, everything but the front of the house where the septic system is located. Resource areas are the original wetlands that were delineated for the subdivision some years ago, and we reset the flags along there. There is a barrier already of large boulders, actually on both sides of the property. One over here that was in the brush, and this one just beyond the tree line. Actually, we showed the tree line behind it. I think it's a little ahead of that now. The siltation control we'd be proposing between the garage and the wetland area. Our garage is just 100 feet at this northwest corner of the garage, and probably about 105 feet at the southwest corner. So it allows us to keep the buildings out of the buffer zone. But again, we've got a couple of recharge units in there, and this is an area that would be re-landscaped. You can see we're grading over in here. As I mentioned, they wanted a walkout at this portion of the house, so we're taking the low point area down here, the elevation 108, and we'll be cutting into the hillside in here in order to get that walkout and not have any ponding issues with the water in there. The rest of it, we're basically taking the high point here, the 114 elevation, and we're using that, extending that around the house so that any kind of runoff would come in and have to run around the house. It's not gonna berm up or build up on the back side of the house. I noticed too, I don't have the most recent plan, I'll send it in to you, but the Board of Health had asked that we relocate the well a little bit, and the owner also said, well, give me room back in here for a future well. It's, again, this is changes outside the buffer zone, really don't affect the wetlands filing. But I will get a revised copy of that into you, Joanne, so you can, or whatever you write up, can have the correct date. But that'd be the only change, would be this little section at the back. I picked this one up in the office in a hurry, having left another meeting tonight, and on the way over here, I said, oh, I haven't got the latest one, but I'll get you that one. Minor change over there. But essentially, that's the project. Majority of the work is outside the buffer zone. A little bit of work in here, primarily regrading and a couple of recharge units.
Questions, comments?
I think it looks good in there, other than the poison ivy.
I mean, the closest you're right into is 88 feet on your recharge system, right?
Yes, that's right,
Yeah.
88 feet there,
Yeah.
and basically the building no closer than 100. That's the
Yeah,
closest.
and that stone wall there's no intention of moving that stone wall.
Oh, it's huge.
Is it?
Yeah, but what a perfect line.
And then usually that's what the board asks, that they put a stone, that you put stones
So,
over.
yeah, some sort of demarcation.
That's
for the
just,
wetlands.
just so future reference, that people wanna clear up to that spot, they don't have to, it's a good marker
Yeah.
that you can't,
They got a good marker.
Yeah.
you can't miss.
If you wish to put a condition that the stones not be moved, I don't see anybody moving them without.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, they're large.
I'm just
Yeah,
stating,
yeah.
like, that's just a good indication that what's going on.
Yeah, no, the
without-
site was staked out very well, we got a good representation out there. I didn't, it's pretty straightforward, single-family dwelling, all, the recharge system, just an added bonus for the
Yeah.
area. All the houses have it, so that's a good thing. I'll entertain a motion, are you here for this project? No? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to issue a negative determination for Blacksmith Drive, map 5, lot 7F.
Motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Have a good
Mr.
night.
Chairman, have a good night, thank you.
All right,
Yeah, that'll be-
always a pleasure.
Okay, next order of business. Stormwater, Navison, 550 Main Street, peer review update, reviewing that agenda, votes may be taken. Steve Campbell here, I did receive an email from him, he was unable to attend.
Yeah, we got the letter.
Oh, is there?
Yep, everyone's got the letter.
Okay, I'll just read it to the record, since it is an agenda item. Hi Joanne, unfortunately, family issue came up, can't make the meeting. Please see the updates. All stormwater updates have now been completed in the field. Final seeding will be done by the end of the week. We do need to go back in and plant some screening trees that were removed during the construction phase. These will be replanted in the fall so the trees don't die over the summer. GAF was on site this past Monday for an inspection, and the report I got was they were happy with everything that was done. Please let me know if there are any further questions and we can respond prior to the meeting tonight. I read that, I had no issues. I spoke to Bill Madden earlier about another matter, and he didn't mention anything about Navison, so that's a good up.
Yeah, it sounds like it's progressing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're starting to get a handle on it. I haven't heard any complaints.
No, there hasn't, right?
There hasn't been any complaints, so that's a good thing.
No news is good news.
In this sense, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right, discussion, nothing. Are you here? You're here first.
Well, I read tonight about the stormwater.
Okay.
And basically, I'm 92 Payshot Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Can you step up to
Yeah,
the
can you
podium,
come up
please,
and
and
say-
just give us your name and...
yeah, all right.
Yeah, the other business.
Stephen Richard, 92 Payshot Street. Let's see, I was here maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
And, about my sump pump just running and running and running. Ironically, it's like, now, I think now it's in a loop where I was pumping out, so now I pumped out to the street, and I hope that will get the water moving, because it just isn't, along Eric's property and what have you. It's just a mess back there.
Yeah.
I know I'm the only one that's having a problem, because matter of fact, my neighbor said, "Oh, you're still pumping?" Yep. I know we talked about it earlier, and I went to the selectmen meeting, and he mentioned that they are looking into it. But I saw tonight that they were talking about stormwater, so
Okay.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I had referred you to the chairman of the select board.
Yeah.
I don't know, did he go out there and take a look?
He said he would. I haven't seen him.
All right.
and-
Well, we have a new chairman of the select board. I'll reach
Yeah,
out
I
to
saw
him
that.
as well. See, that's the thing, is they deal with the town's stormwater,
Yeah.
so I'll
Alright.
definitely, I didn't forget about you,
No, I know.
And I'm not passing the buck,
No,
but I'm trying to get you, to the right
Correct.
department,
Yeah. Like I said, I saw stormwater, I read it quick, and I saw that it was talking about stormwater. I guess it was what you just addressed. And that's the only reason why I'm here tonight.
All right.
Just trying to, keep rattling the cage. per
Yeah,
se,
understood. No, I understand. Yeah, I'll reach out to the chairman and just have him, just
Okay.
put a buzz in his ear,
Yep.
And, I think you might be in your better interest to pump the water the other way, not into the street.
Well.
Just because you're not supposed to.
I know, it might be an issue with the DPW.
DPW
Well,
might come.
Um,
Technically, it's against that bylaw.
Yeah, I know, it happens.
There's at least 5 houses between
yeah, there's
my
quite a
house
few
and
in that
the
area.
police station that do it year round, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, and in the area, there's like at least 3 to 5 that are doing it already.
I wasn't saying he has to do it, but he
I'm
said
just trying to
it
get the
might be.
water so that this, hopefully this will pull it from where I'm pumping to and move it down further so that at least the sump pump stops.
Beyond, yeah, if we move it beyond.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't, there must be a problem with a catch basin or something.
I don't think it's the catch basin. It's what I had mentioned previously. There's the, they came down a couple of years ago and they made this nice cul-de-sac for the water to run in and stuff. And that's all full and there's a couple of places where it's trees are down and what have you. And now the water is not moving. It's just sitting there.
The problem, from what I understand, has been found. They just haven't got to the next step.
Okay.
Conoco was involved, and they're
Right.
doing their, and I believe they became assumption that they figured out what was going on, but it's a big process to,
No, okay.
especially on the stretch that.
And I never saw the final report from that. That's for the town's MS4, but I could ask
Yeah,
for the
gotta be,
report.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
To
that's
see,
it.
see what they came up with on
Right.
that as well.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he's right at where the whole neighborhood discharges in there. And then the town did put in a swale in there.
Oh, is that
Now,
what-
that's what that
Okay.
hole is that you speak of on the
Yeah.
backhand side. But they put it in, but nobody ever maintains it or mows it. So
Right.
now it's just overgrown with like the rest of the cattails and everything, and then you got back up way down the other end.
Okay.
So, no matter, believe me, if I could go out there and take out some trees and stuff, I would. It's not going to help the issue at the end of the day, because if it would help the issue, I'd go out
No,
there
I
and
know,
do it.
I know.
There's some large construction that's going to have to be done to resolve our problems, and it's not the as in our problems. I'm talking the town. It's not going to be done overnight.
No.
We're going to
okay.
have to, and you're going to have to buckle up.
Yeah. Is there anywhere I can just kind of follow it as opposed to
It's going to.
bothering you guys?
Yeah, so that would be the selectmen's.
Okay.
Because they deal with the town's MS4. So.
All right.
But I'll reach out to the chairman, and I'll get get an update from him. I'll put a buzz in his ear about what's going on over there. He may not have been aware of it. I reached out to the previous chairman.
Correct.
Maybe he can throw it on an agenda and you guys can discuss it, or they can update everybody on what the final report was, because like I said, I never saw the final report from Conoco. I don't know. I know there was some illicit discharge issues. I don't know what,
And then,
whatever came of it. so.
Did they entertain any discussion with you? Is that what you said?
Not yet.
So you
I talked to
want
the
to try to, yeah, you want to get on the agenda,
Yeah,
maybe
you definitely-
submit a letter
Okay.
to the board
And also,
in that regard.
Yeah.
You know,
you got, just, you're gonna have to keep haunting DPW, to get out there and try to, actually do something.
Yeah, when,
I don't know,
Yeah.
they say they go out and they give a schedule and they check all this stuff, but as well as you and I know, we're in these same problems, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so just, get on the phone with them and just keep haunting them, because that's where it is, that's the discharge.
Yeah. I wonder if, you mentioned earlier that it's further down the road. What is it? Is it between us and Scouts Pond, or?
I know the foundings that I found as a person, and resident was all Scouts Pond.
Yeah, okay,
That was the main issue down at the end.
yeah.
That's what I found. I wasn't a
Right, right.
professional.
No, I understand that you weren't, it's just, you know, like I say.
It's just poor
since
maintenance.
Thanksgiving, it's just, and it's gotten worse, you know.
Poor maintenance and underdeveloped.
Right.
Everything was
Right.
built for like 50, 60 houses we're gonna use as in a cloud number.
Yeah.
But what's really going on now, we just keep getting all these houses that are getting bud and not saying they should. We got all these single family houses that go up that don't have to withstand the stormwater permit. And it's all going into the same stormwater system.
Yeah, no, I know.
But the system never gets
Yeah.
regenerated. So the last time, I lost track of the files in 1967, 1970 and 1967. So everything previous, it wasn't touched since then. So
Yeah.
that's how old the system is, and that was where I lost track of files. Not even counting anything else. And like I said, it came into another problem with MS-13 and the
MS4.
the MS4. Everybody getting a little shaky about if they can go in or if they can't go in to the area. One says 310 CMR says you can't touch a wetland. MS4 states that you can go in and you can maintain a stormwater even if it's in a wetland environment, because it will create wetland symptoms, plant life, soil,
Right.
because of the water that's going through. So for a while, everybody was very, very itchy and scared to even go out in their yard, even though it was a swell, and touch it, because the next thing you know, you have someone knocking on the door saying you're violating 310 CMR.
Right, right.
So you're just gonna have to keep buckling up and just waiting for,
I'd submit that letter to
Yeah.
the select board and, you know,
And they're in charge of the DPW,
right.
so if
So,
you,
yeah,
they
they'll,
they can go
That's
at it from
correct.
both angles.
That's
They
right.
can direct the DPW to investigate,
Yep.
and they can,
Okay.
that's your best
Yeah.
avenue.
And keep
Because
calling.
I've called, you know, to be honest with you, I've been, the nice lady takes my,
Sure.
hello, it's
No,
you, you know, she
right.
makes out the slip.
You know, everyone is
puts it
busy,
in,
but
and-
when you-
and
when you-
I
when you
understand,
send them a
I'm
letter,
only one person.
you know, when you send them a letter, it seems to
Yeah.
get
Oh,
their
yeah.
attention a little bit more.
Seems to be
And
nothing.
we'll definitely get you on the agenda.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot.
Very good.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Enjoy this warm weather, no rain. No.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, maybe the pump will slow down.
Yes.
okay. Discussion, agent updates, none. No, we already, yeah. about that. Any other business? No, I don't have anything. Anybody with business for the commission?
The only thing I was thinking, can we change this Saturday to like a Monday evening or
Huh?
instead of doing a Saturday site visit?
No.
Wow. Where did
There's
that come
no-
from?
Well, so Saturday morning I missed my granddaughter's soccer game.
Oh, it's.
And I didn't mind that, but then she
Well,
didn't end up playing
you know,
more,
I
and
mean,
it's just like,
Jim, you don't have to
I
attend
suggested
every.
this a long time
you know,
ago.
when
that
you
we
have
did
priority-
an evening
I'm just saying
or
for the
an
summer.
afternoon, late afternoon.
I don't know, I look at it, I work till 9 o'clock at
Yeah,
night usually,
that's-
so.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
Saturday, I know it's an inconvenience,
I
but that's
think-
the inconvenience we signed up for, the way I look at it.
It
Yeah.
could be another day, but I would care to do it in the morning, personally, I would.
Right.
I would just prefer, personally. It could be any day of the week, it doesn't matter to me, but in the evening would be a lot more of an inconvenience.
And Jimmy, I feel your pain because
Some
I get my
places
daughter
you
on the
want to be
weekends and I only
inconvenient.
get her
Well,
on the
I
weekends
just-
usually and I have
I
to
mean,
take every other.
You know, generally, there's, things going on that, you don't want to break away from to
And we
do
kinda,
the meeting in the evening, and that,
we kinda gotta give the general public
I'm just
a chance to be there too.
Well, I mean, is that every week, Jim? Is it
What's that?
every week?
Well, no, it's not just that. It is summertime, perfect weather, and it ain't bad if
Well,
we're
that's
back
my
up
point
at
about-
9:30, 10. But when you get back home at 11:30, you missed your whole
Days half
morning.
over,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know, but it's such a nice walk in the morning.
Hey,
Bring
it was
in
just a
here.
suggestion.
I mean,
No.
Well,
I'm
years
not
ago,
trying
they
to.
did meet on Monday nights for the summer.
For,
When you were here,
for site visits?
Yeah, you were here, remember, when they did, way back with Monica? No?
Hey, we'll keep it
Monday-
to Saturdays
Monday
then.
nights.
No.
At like.
On early was the
It
first
was only
station
for the,
ever.
I'm not gonna be
she did them
the-
on Monday nights.
No, we'll keep
at-
it Saturday.
just
Bearer
for
of
summer,
bad
like
times.
from May to
I-
like September. I don't care. Then we went back to a winter
Yeah.
schedule.
No, we'll go back.
I'm not
We'll
sure
keep it
if
on
the
Saturday
engineer-
You
morning.
can't make, don't feel I mean,
No.
Well,
We're not getting paid.
Well,
We're not mandatory to do any of
yeah,
this.
I mean, hunting season, Saturdays are tough for me. I get it.
Well, we don't
I
like
get it.
outside
I don't
visits.
know.
You can't
I
go
really- I mean-
because you're hunting.
Scopes out the.
No,
That's why I wasn't there Saturday, because
Yeah.
I was at a car show.
yeah,
I
if
gotta-
you, don't feel obligated,
Right,
and it's,
Right,
I'm
but
not gonna go.
again,
We'll-
there's a lot of things going on in the evening through the summer
Oh,
as
that's
well,
what I
so,
know you don't remember it.
it's,
No problem.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm not,
Yeah,
look,
I mean-
I'm not trying to rain on the
No, no,
parade.
no,
I'm
don't
not,
worry
believe
about
me.
it.
My schedule's wide
If you
open.
if you need a Saturday off, just take it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you
I have
still,
every day off.
Yeah.
So,
again,
Well, yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah, who's complaining
Why is he
now?
complaining?
Right.
Matter of fact, today I got my second paycheck of the month.
Oh, okay, good.
Just to let you guys know.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this meeting
Get the
closed.
second one,
Second one.
must be tough.
Let's get this meeting.
future business. The next meeting of the Conservation Commission will be on June 26, 2024. Meeting to be held at the Town Hall Meeting Room. Thanks for having us back, guys. Located at 122 Main Street, Acushnet, Mass. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.